There is just 6 Liverpool games left to play until we break for the World Cup, and our attention will quickly turn to the January transfer window. The Reds are expected to spend big in January after a disappointing start to the Premier League season, which has been down to a combination of a couple of things. In today's video, we have a huge Jude Bellingham to Liverpool update, and we also discuss the Liverpool player that is wanted by Premier League clubs. Not only that, we go over the news from the last 24 hours, and also discuss Liverpool's injury state of play, and inform you on when every player will return. There is so much to cover in today's video. And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. Before we get into today's video, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Jude Bellingham is a player that has been constantly linked to the football club ever since the summer transfer window. The reports have always been that Liverpool are in the race for the English midfielder, but would be waiting until the summer of 2023 to make their move. Bellingham has had a fantastic season so far with Borussia Dortmund, having scored 8 goals in 16 games for the German Giants. Jude is attracting interest throughout Europe with Real Madrid, Manchester City, Liverpool and Manchester United, all sides that are being touted for a potential summer destination for the 19-year-old. However, with regards to Liverpool, there is a huge update that has been provided by both the Times and the Telegraph, and that is that Liverpool are firstly losing ground in the race for the player, and that the club are unwilling to pay £100 million, which is the expected asking price for the young midfielder. Jude is a player I personally rate very highly, and I do think that the club's chances of landing him next summer are actually pretty low, considering who our owners are, and the fact that other clubs can enter bidding wars firstly, and pay him astronomical wages, which just isn't a thing under the FSG model. Other reports from reputable sources are claiming that the player has his heart set on Real Madrid, and that Los Blancos will be his likely destination come the summer transfer window. In other news, it is being reported that Arsenal, Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspur are monitoring the Naby Keita situation. The midfielder has not actually played this season due to a series of niggling injuries, which has been a huge frustration for Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp, given the Guinean's form last season and their other medical woes. During the summer, Keita's agents made a concerted push for Liverpool to tie him down to a new deal before the transfer window closed, but when it became clear this wasn't going to happen, it was made known that he wasn't happy with the situation. The situation remains deadlocked, and Keita's camp know that interest in his services is strong both from within the Premier League and abroad, despite his injury record. The chance to land Keita on a free is hugely appealing, and we understand that Chelsea, Arsenal and Tottenham are among those contemplating an offer. Chelsea could consider moving on from the likes of N'Golo Kante and Jorginho, while Dennis Zakaria does not have a long-term future at the club, and the chance to bolster their ranks with a free agent is believed to appeal to the Blues. Arsenal and Tottenham could also both do with Keita, as he would add some real depth to both their thin squads. There is also major interest in Keita from Germany, Italy, Spain and France should he decide to leave the Premier League, and he would be able to negotiate a free transfer abroad in January. It is also being reported today that Liverpool are pressing ahead with their search for a new club doctor, as debate over the fitness concerns of Jurgen Klopp's players continues to intensify. The Reds have been without a full-time employee in that position after Jim Moxon departed in August. Moxon, formerly the academy doctor, was promoted to the role in the summer of 2020, following his work during the coronavirus pandemic after the departure of Andy Macy. Head of Academy Medical, Bevan McCartan, and club physician, Sarah Lindsay, have temporarily assumed the primary medical duties with the first team this season and have been travelling to matches. Andres Schlumberg, Liverpool's head of recovery and performance, has also taken on extra responsibilities. The process to replace Moxon remains ongoing, with Liverpool continuing to pursue their best available candidates. While no timescale has been set, the club are mindful any outside appointment would have a notice period to serve that would be dependent on their current employer. The Reds are also considering an internal appointment, with no final decision having been made yet. As we go into the final 6 games before the World Cup, I wanted to go through the club's injury state of play and provide you with an update on all of the players who are out and when they'll be back in action again. Darwin Núñez. After scoring the winner against West Ham and with momentum on his side, it was typical Liverpool misfortune that saw Núñez end the match with a minor hamstring complaint. It was enough to rule him out for Saturday's match against Nottingham Forest, but Jurgen Klopp was optimistic that he'll be a one-game absence. He said Darwin should be back, this game was just too early. I think another day of recovery would have helped him, at least that is my knowledge in the moment. Thiago. An ear infection on the morning of the trip to Forest sent Thiago to hospital before he was later driven home with the issue enough to keep him out of the match against Forest. The hope is he will have recovered in time for Wednesday's trip to Ajax. Konate. Konate has missed Liverpool's last 3 games with a muscle injury, but the manager did confirm that Konate will train from the start of the week. With his timeout extending to just 2 weeks, there should be little concern about injecting him straight back into the team. An extra body in defence will be welcomed at this time. Naby Keita. Keita has played just 5 minutes this season, but now is back in full training, but there will be no rush on his return to the pitch as he first needs to get match fit. Klopp said, his pre-season, if you want, football pre-season starts now, more or less. There are a lot of football games to play, and I can't wait to have him back properly. Joel Matip. What was initially said to be a 2 to 3 week return timeline now appears slightly longer for Matip, with last Klopp's update saying he's still a little bit away. It is Matip's second injury of the season, having missed 3 games earlier in the campaign with what was described as a strange injury. Matip will surely be expected to return before the World Cup break. Luis Diaz. There was no surgery required for Diaz's knee injury, thankfully, leaving a recovery schedule of 6 to 8 weeks. He will be penciled in for a return against Aston Villa after Christmas, with the hope he can get back up to speed during Liverpool's World Cup break in Dubai. Diogo Jota. A serious injury for Jota has led to the World Cup heartbreak, with his calf injury keeping him out of action for the foreseeable future. There is no definitive timeline, but what Klopp said, we'll have to wait for him like a good wife waits for his husband in prison, doesn't bode well. He has used this phrase before for serious long-term injuries in the past, but Liverpool fans will be hoping that the number 20 is the exception, but either way, we will not see him until 2023. Arthur. The first half of the season ended before it even got up and running, and the severity of his injury required surgery, which is to keep him sidelined from anywhere between 3 to 4 months. Arthur is another Liverpool player that will not see minutes until 2023. Liverpool's next opposition is Ajax Amsterdam in the Champions League on Wednesday, and if the Reds avoid defeat, they will qualify for the round of 16 in the competition. This has become a must-win for Ajax if they want to qualify for the round of 16, and we are expecting a really tough performance at the Johan Cruyff Arena. The Dutch champions are currently top of the Eredivisie after beating RKC 4-1 at the weekend. Liverpool fans, what do you make of the whole Jude Bellingham situation? Let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. Please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.